Hello, everybody. How are you today? I just did a trick with some concealer, so I know I look a little bit foolish right now. If you struggle with concealer, this shows you liquidy concealer versus creamy concealer. Okay, guys. So the first thing that I want to talk about is a lot of people come to me because I have been a sufferer of chicken bumps. And you're like, what is chicken bumps? Chicken bumps are very common. They are called keratosis pilaris. It's very common. I started having them when I was a teenager. And basically they are keratin bumps. They are keratin bumps. Okay. So keratin bumps, happen when your body is producing it, but it stops in the process in your glands, and then it causes the keratin buildup. Okay. So that's why we call them chicken bumps. Okay. It's because they're white and they almost look like, strawberry legs. If you've never seen strawberry legs, it pretty much looks like the pit of a strawberry on your legs. Like a lot of people get it when they shave, that kind of thing. So what I like to do, which I did this yesterday, but I like to do lactic acid treatment to it. I just like to take the pad and I just like to wipe it around my arm after I shower. And usually I do it on a day where I have to do my whole face and my chest, and then I'll do my arms, because the lactic acid actually helps to exfoliate that keratin. Okay, yes, I know I look silly. I know I have concealer on both eyes. One eye has liquid, one eye has cream. So check out my stories in a little bit and you'll see why. So I like to take a lactic acid pad and I like to rub it around that area. So again, the chicken bumps are keratosis pilaris. It's keratin that your body is producing, okay? And so it doesn't fully process in your glands, so it comes out looking like these white bumps because it's keratin buildup, okay? So the best way to get rid of them is by exfoliation. But you want to make sure you use the right exfoliator, right? So you want to use a lactic acid because it actually gets under that skin. And lactic acid is like pulls that glue apart, right? Now, it's not something that's going to happen overnight. You have to be consistent with it. And it's like one of those things that eventually, after you've done it consistently, that it is going to come off. And it's not going to come off, but it's going to be minimized, like reduce the appearance of it. In the summertime, I tend to have a lot better success with it because the sun helps a little bit. But in the winter time is when it gets really bad. And that's when I have to use the lactic acid pads because, again, it gets underneath that skin and it helps to pull that apart and basically help remove that keratin out of the pore. Again, and some people struggle with strawberry legs, right? If you've never heard of strawberry legs before, it's very similar. It looks like a pit of a strawberry. A lot of women and men get it when they shave their legs, and it looks like a pit of a strawberry. And I get it very, very much so during the winter months when my legs are very, very dried out. So that's why it's really important. Now, after you do like a lactic acid pad treatment to the back of your arm, you want to make sure you're putting good into it, right? So that's why I always recommend because it's kind of like when you go work out and you're burning all these calories, and you have to take protein shake afterwards. Well, you should have protein after you're done working out because you're replacing all of that. You're replenishing your muscles, right? So I kind of see it as that concept when you're sitting here and you're breaking down things and you're removing things and you're doing work on things, you have to put goodie back into the skin, right? So if you shave, you have to put lotion on. If you shower, you have to put, you should put lotion on if you have a hot shower. So I always put this is a green smoothie moisturizer. It has alfalfa in it and celery. It also has anti-aging benefits, but it's meant to go on top of that lactic acid because it's removing all of that. Now, when I say lactic acid, I'm not talking about like something that's going to burn your skin like isopropyl alcohol or benzoyl peroxide or anything like that. Lactic acid is in the family of an AHA, alpha hydroxy acid, which is like the safest method at home for you to do. When you get into like glycolic acids, you really should be seeing a professional, because you can burn your skin, you can cause damage. So you want to make sure you're careful. And also, those can make you super sun sensitive. Now, lactic acid, you could be a little sun sensitive, and I always recommend wearing SPF anytime, day or I mean at nighttime, no, but daytime, always wearing it. If I go outside, I'm wearing SPF on areas that I may have done lactic acid treatments. When I was a young teen in my 20s, I was dumb. I didn't understand that if you put acne treatment on your face at nighttime, don't wash your face, and you go out into the sun, you're going to have little red burn marks, because it has benzoyl peroxide in it, right? It's salicylic acid. So I burnt myself and I had these red marks all over. So I always recommend SPF, right? Especially on your arms and your body, everything that's exposed. So I love using these. I use this on my face as well a couple times a week. So I'll, do my face, I'll do my neck, and then I'll do my arms, and I'll also do my armpits. Those of you who struggle with sweating like a 14-year-old boy, like that is me. So it's going to do the same thing. It's going to pull that apart and kind of get into that pore and pull that out. So if you struggle with odor, if you struggle with over sweating, there's obviously other things you could do, but I like to use this as a exfoliant as well, a couple times a week as well. So that is my suggestion when it comes to chicken bumps. This is a question that I get so often, and I actually was talking to my girlfriend about it the other day. She was like, oh my gosh, look at my son's arms, I can't believe this. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's such an easy fix. Like, we just got to get you hooked up with some lactic acid pads, use them once a week, and replace it with some green smoothie moisturizer. It's totally attainable. So if you struggle with the chicken buns, comment down below with a chicken emoji, because I felt for the longest time like I was the only person that struggled with them, because I was put on like Differin gel. Do you guys remember Differin gel? Because they always saw keratosis pilaris as acne, right? So they put you on well, when I was young in 2004, when I was graduating high school, I'm old if that doesn't tell you how old I am. The dermatologist wanted me to go on Differin gel. It did nothing. And then he told me, well, why don't you go to the tanning bed a couple times a week? My dermatologist told me to go to the tanning bed a couple times a week for like 5 minutes at a time. He's like, the sun's really going to help it, or sit out in the sun. If you don't have time to go to the tanning bed, sit out in the sun. And I'm like, did you really just tell me that? So, yes, but that was years ago. I assume, things have been a lot different since then. But yes, I grew up using the Differin gel. I've used so many things, but really the lactic acid pads have really been the only thing that has helped me, along with replacing it with a moisturizer, especially in the winter time. So if you struggle with chicken bumps, comment chicken below. Because like I said, I feel like I was the only person for so many years. If you're curious why I have this over on the liquid on this side and cream on this side, check out my stories here in about 5 minutes and you will see why. I'm curious to know which side you like better. I can tell you what side I like better. But I hope you guys have a great